Hi everybody, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In this video here today, we're going to be talking about self-punishment and ambivalent attachment styles. If you haven't checked out my other video on self-punishment and avoidant attachment style, I'll link it up here for you right now. Let's get started. Alright, so let's talk about self-punishment and ambivalent attachment styles. So to understand what self-punishment looks like in a person who has an ambivalent attachment style, we first have to understand what an ambivalent attachment style itself is. In short, what ambivalent attachment style is that children who have parents who tend to get overwhelmed and not be able to contain the child's feelings, and the child's feelings affects the parent very much. These children tend to start getting into a pattern of taking care of their parents, emotionally speaking. So they find themselves often sacrificing their own feelings, their own needs, their own wants, their own desires, such that they can take care of their parent so that their parent doesn't get overwhelmed and abandon them. So abandonment is a huge issue when we're talking about ambivalent attachment. So what does that mean for the adult who experiences self-punishment as a result of their ambivalent attachment style? When does the self-punishment kick in? For a person with an ambivalent attachment style, self-punishment really kicks in when the person has been, in one way or another, too uncaring. If they haven't been caring enough. If they haven't been outwardly pleasurable, pleasing, caring, empathetic, kind enough. So, as you may recall, what I said is the person has to make sure that they are never abandoned. To never be abandoned, they have to make sure that they're always seen, always observed, and this would be very different to the avoidant attachment style that I talked about in my previous video. The person with an ambivalent attachment style wants to always be seen, but only for their supreme acts of kindness, goodness, how happy they can be, how cheerful they can be, how empathetic they can be, how overall extremely sacrificial they can be. So the person with ambivalent attachment style will feel an extreme self-punishment when they have not been caring or kind or giving or emotionally attuned to other people's needs enough. The self-punishment then comes in to punish the person with ambivalent attachment style, to say, how dare you be so selfish? How dare you be so angry with somebody? How dare you put your own wants before other people's needs? How dare you want to travel when someone needs you at home? How dare you want to go out and have a jog when someone needs you to stay here, for example? So the self-punishment comes in and hits the person, hurts the person emotionally speaking, through a large amount of shame. And as that shame comes in, it takes different forms. And with people who have an ambivalent attachment style, the punishment often comes in forms of self-sabotage and extreme acts of self-sacrifice. So they need to be hurt from within them so that they never ever do whatever they did again. For example, they might have been angry at somebody, or they might have told somebody that they don't want something, or they want something else, or they might have gone out for a jog when they were meant to stay home, or whatever, anything that's about them as opposed to about other people. And the self-punishment then comes in to make sure that they never do something like that again. So it essentially creates a pattern of the extreme opposite, but a punishment version of that. So basically what I'm trying to say is, what might happen is that the person then extremely self-sacrifices. So they might, for example, do something like cancel their next travel plans. They might have spent $5,000, for example, and they were going to go on this around the world trip, but now they cancel that as this big act of self-sabotage and punishment to show how, and sacrifice in one big act to show how bad they feel from this selfish act that they might have done before. So really what the punishment is there to do is to overwhelm the person into losing sort of their ability to really think clearly, and then they act in these grandiose look at me and how kind and caring and empathetic I can actually be type sense that actually is just there to punish them and hurt them and make sure that they never do that again, so that they're never unseen, or that they're never seen for bad bits, for bad behaviors, or for uncaring behaviors, and that they're always persistently seen for their caring sides. So what does then ISTDP do? ISTDP, the purpose of it is to help the person see that this self-punishment is actually just there to hurt them for things that are quite normal in human beings. We all have wants, we all have needs, we all have desires, we all have wishes, and it's there to help the person see that their feelings cannot hurt anybody at all. And if somebody is hurt by their feelings, then that's about them. So ISTDP helps us connect with ourselves in that deepest sense to say, look, it's not our responsibility to take responsibility for other people's feelings anymore. We understand that that happened when you were a child, but we don't need to do that anymore. And as we do that, as we can get past the punishment about that, the person can start then really exploring all of these really nice, useful, kind, intense, fierce emotions within them. They can then start getting connected with themselves. But we can't really do that until we've removed all this punishment, until we've removed all this sabotage. And once we do that, then we can get more connected with the person deep down inside, and they won't be afraid that they're going to get abandoned anymore. Then we can really start helping the person who's ambivalent connect with themselves. They won't find themselves being as dependent on other people. They won't find themselves being as afraid to trust themselves, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Please press that bell button so I pop up on your phone whenever I post a video. And yeah, I suppose I'll see you for the next time. I'll see you for the next time. I'll see you for the next one.